Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is Deandre, the protege Anderson, MMA fighter, riding a score of 5-0 and coming off a great stoppage victory. What was the secret of going in 11 seconds?
I honestly thought it was way longer. It was just me going out there, putting my faith in God, and it just things just happen sometimes, and it surprised me when it was just 11 seconds. So I'm just blessed to have a my first knockout as well. So I'm just super excited about that.
So you were not expecting a short match, you were expecting a tactical one, or
I was expecting like a 15-minute just war. Like I was expecting to have to go to the ground, because he's really good on the ground. I was expecting, to have to use my takedowns. I didn't even really get the chance to do any of that because it was so short. So um, it was just it was something that I did not expect any of that to happen. So it was just pretty cool how it happened.
yeah, it was a great victory. Really much great victory that will get you a lot of public attention, which is outstanding. So, when did you start training MMA and which was your fundamental martial art? Do you have one?
So I started training MMA about 6 years ago. But I wrestled since I was 11 years old. So I've been doing some type of combat sport for about 13 years of my life. Um, so wrestling really is my base. Like I love wrestling. I can wrestle all day. It doesn't really matter. I never get tired wrestling. Um, it's just something that I love. But my mentality it's came from wrestling. The way that I'm able to, the toughness and the drive that I have is all from wrestling. So I just credit that as my main thing. Even if I'm not having to use that much wrestling sometimes, I definitely am a wrestler still.
How would you describe your fighting style?
Um, I think like the best like comparison to somebody would be like a Usman. That like a wrestler that can strike. Um, because I've done enough striking, bouts that I can stand up with pretty much anybody. I feel comfortable doing that. But I love to wrestle. I love to get that takedown and just go and, grind somebody out for 15 minutes. I love to just go out there and just, you know, throw punches on and do the ground and pound. That's just my favorite thing to do. I love being against the cage too. That's my favorite place. I always tell my teammates that I live there. I didn't get to do that this fight, but I definitely will be doing that a little bit more often. If I get into the next level.
Do you have the favorite strike, considering that you mentioned you progressed a lot about striking? So, do you have a favorite one?
Um, probably a low kick. I love throwing low kicks. I have an axe tattooed on my shin. I just love throwing them, just like chopping down a tree. I normally fight people that are a little bit taller than me, so I guess I gotta hit their legs and bring them down to my size.
Can you please elaborate the meaning of your tattoos? You said X, you have more of them, right?
So I have I have the axe on it's actually Stormbreaker. So it's the Thor's axe. Um and then I have a gopher. That's my high school mascot. It's a wrestling gopher. I have like two Clark Kent tattoos, Supermans. Um, let's see, have all of my school and um mascots tattooed on me. I have like a Tupac quote tattooed on me. I just a lot of my tattoos they're either for where I'm from or they're about fighting. So that's one side of my body is strictly just, things that are relating with fighting. Then the other side is all about my family. And um, I think my favorite one is my gopher. I was the first state champion in 40 years at my school. and my coach's wife actually drew that gopher, so that one means a lot to me.
What is the background behind your nickname?
The protege, so that came from my mentor Seth. He actually brought me into the gym. I remember making a Facebook post, and then he was he was like, "Hey, come and I'll come pick you up and take you to the gym." So after I had a couple of fights, he was like, "You're like my little protege," and then that name just stuck throughout the gym, and that was my name ever since. And it kind of fits my actual name, so it was something that I was I just looked up into.
So you like your nickname, right?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it because who gave it to me, you know, and it's a pretty cool nickname, I think.
Who are your coaches and training partners?
So my coaches are Curtis Taylor and John Dye, and Jordan Carpenter. Um, so my training partners, I train with like a whole bunch of amateurs. I'm actually the only pro in my gym. So we got Al, Alex, Terry. Um, let's see, we got Jack, um, and then we have a few more guys that are a little bit newer that are in our gym, but I pretty much I get all of my MMA training from those guys, and then my jujitsu, we just have like a ridiculous amount of people. I roll with every single person. Doesn't matter who it is, you know, the belt rank or whatever. I roll with everybody. So I like to thank those guys as well. All the people that only do jiu-jitsu at Cobra, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Tuscaloosa, just because they help me out a ton.
Do you remember your first amateur fight and who was your toughest amateur opponent?
So my first one was Colt Jones. I won that one in 50 seconds. I was like, I looked horrible in that fight. Even though it was a 50-second win, I had no head movement. I had been only training for about 3 months. So like everything was just super stiff, but that's how a lot of other people's first fights are, I guess. But my toughest was definitely, let's see, my Draco fight. Draco Rodriguez, he's in the UFC. He's actually my only loss in MMA. So it's just one of those I would love to get that fight back just because like I think that I'll be at that level and um they actually wanted me to fight him like one of my first few pro fights, but I told them to wait because that's a $50,000 fight right there. That's a fight of the night type fight. Um, so I would like to have that one in the UFC.
That would be a great idea. Definitely a great idea. Drake Rodriguez is a great fighter, so yeah.
Yeah.
What can you say about your first professional fight?
Um, so that was Eric Kemper. That was like I had a horrible weight cut, and I knew I had to get him out of there quick. So I threw my leg kick, took him to the fence, took him down, and then I got the TKO after I took his back. But that one was I was very prepared for that one. Um, I was just ready. I was ready to be pro for a long time before then. So it was just it wasn't easy because I put in a whole bunch of work for that fight, but it just went really really smooth. Everything except for the weight cut. You know, I go in there and I just perform, and I knew that I would perform that day, so it was pretty cool.
And your second and third professional fights went the distance. So were you just trying to keep the opponents down? Were you controlling them? Did you have some specific game plan for those two fights?
For those two, so I had two guys they were just very tough. Um, I had opportunities that to try to get them out of there, but they were just super tough. I hit them, um, cannot, it was super hard to finish him. I tried my hardest. I would, I took his back and I was hitting him hard and he just wouldn't go away. And then the same thing with Angel. Um, I thought I was gonna be able to get him out of there because I got him a little bit tired, and I tried some subs and stuff like that, but nothing really, came all the way through with that one. Like I tried super hard, but those guys were just tough. It was good for me to get that 15 minutes of experience. So, it changed a whole bunch for me. As far as like me knowing that I needed to get a little bit better at cardio, um, and that I can't finish every single person. I used to think that I could finish anybody at any time. Um, you know, but sometimes some people are a little bit tougher than others.
How does one day in your life look like? Can you please describe it?
So I wake up, I help get my daughter ready, and then my daughter and my girlfriend they leave to go to the daycare. Then I just go straight to the gym after that. I'm in the gym from about 10:30 until about 9 o'clock at night, about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm pretty much there all day. Um, like I pretty much live at the gym. I take naps on the crash pad. I bring a pillow and a blanket. Um, every day of my like from Monday to Thursday, at the gym. Just Fridays are just my days where I just do my long run and I take my time and I recover a little bit. And my weekends are normally for my family, so I just do runs in the morning um, and I just take my time and because having a kid and a girlfriend at home, I can't just leave them there all the time. I got to spend some time with my family.
So weekends are generally kind of for rest, right?
Yeah, weekends are definitely those are my rest days. I make sure I get the run in and everything. And I do some cardio, but as far as just MMA training and stuff, normally I'm just, kind of chilling out with my family. I live an hour and a half away from my gym, so, that's a long drive to make on a Saturday or a Sunday. I'd rather be spending some time with my family.
So what are your plans for the future? Do you have maybe somebody lined up in your sights or?
Um, my plans are just to stay ready for a UFC call up if that opportunity happens. Because I'm going back down to 135, so I'm actually sitting, about 10 pounds over that right now. I'm just waiting on that, and but we're talking to CFFC about trying to get a title fight because I feel like I deserve it after that knockout. So we can I can take some belts in CFFC or I can go to the UFC, win, and then start taking belts there.
That's pretty much impressive story. Would you like to greet somebody? Would you like to mention somebody we forgot to mention, or would you maybe like to give a shout out to somebody in the interview, please?
Um, I would like to thank my team at Cobra Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Feel like we're the best MMA gym in Alabama, and I like to thank all my teammates and my coaches. Um, my teammates actually fight next weekend, so I'm really excited to watch them fight and just to see all the hard work they put in because they've been putting in the same amount of work that I've been putting in since I had my camp. So they've just been a huge part of my victory. So I want to be a huge part of theirs. I would also like to thank my family and friends. They've always supported me through all the good and the bad. They just always been there. They've been there. A lot of them been there since I was like 11 years old when I started wrestling. So it's been pretty cool. And I just like to thank all my sponsors. There's a laundry list of sponsors and stuff. So we got Civilized and Savage Clothing. We got Alpha Omega Fightwear. Let's see. We got the Darby Johnson Agency. They do insurance there in like a ridiculous amount of states. I think it's like 40 something states, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and that'd be, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I can't think of it right now. And thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, Deandre. I will start uploading video now. As soon as the UFC weigh-ins finish, I will upload the video.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Andre. Thank you, Deandre. Have a great day.
All right, you too.